Extraordinary Americans? My name is Cosmos, and this is Extraordinary America. What is Extraordinary America about? Extraordinary America is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. Why? Well, you see, the essence of being American and America has always been freedom, opportunity for a better life, and the pursuit of happiness. However, in the financial front, we have not been achieving that. We've been going through massive levels of wealth and income inequality. In the recent months, we have been losing a lot of jobs, right? And there's been a massive loss of jobs, and most people are barely able to pay their bills and pay their rent, right? In the recent years, we've been going through a thing called stagflation, where we have had stagnant wages, right? Combined with inflation or gradual inflation of prices and rise of prices over like a long period of inflation and rise of prices over a long period of time, right? And then when you combine this with debt, it means that your purchasing power is massively reduced, and you're not able to do anything else except go to your job or go to your work in order to pay the bills, which is basically a form of financial slavery, right? And to top everything off, right now we're going through the beginnings of what we call an economic collapse, right? And this is going to be followed by hyperinflation of the dollar, as in the purchasing power of our money is going to be destroyed due to devaluation and hyperinflation. And that will lead to complete and utter financial slavery. Therefore, what is Extraordinary America about? Extraordinary America is about the abolition of financial slavery. It is about the financial freedom of the 99%. We do not work for money. We make money work for us. How is this to be done? In the short term, this is to be done by investing in non-dollar denominated assets like gold, silver, or cryptocurrencies, which will protect and retain your purchasing power of your money, right? From devaluation and hyperinflation of fiat money. Because every single currency that we have right now in today's world is basically fiat money, and that can be printed in massive amounts. And in the long term, this is to be done through number one, transformation of the 99% into entrepreneurs and investors on the light side. Number two, the creation of spiritual economic institutions led by Jedipreneurs that help create a universal basic income, along with providing the essentials of food, clothing, housing, healthcare, and education, the same way that a father would do for a child. Right? Why? Because we are all children of the Father, one Father who is the creator of the universe, right? And he sees, and therefore we are all part of the 1%er family on the light side. And last but not the least, the eventual replacement of the fiat-based monetary system, the debt-based fiat monetary system, with the American Dream Standard or the Humanity Upliftment Standard, right? In today's video, I want to have like a continuation of the video from last time, where we talked about how we are all one American family, and what you call the right or the conservatives, and basically everything that is on the right, and then what you have the left or the liberals is basically another term for the masculine and the feminine, or the father and the mother, right? Today, I want to talk about another spectrum, and that is the spectrum of empathy and narcissism. Basically, the law of one on one hand and the law of ego on the other. Why is this important? I mean, like, let me first describe it, right? So in the law of one, we understand that everything is interconnected, right? That we are all part of each other, and it's all about harmony, cooperation, and coordination, right? It's all about understanding somebody else's point of view, and also experiencing empathy for the other person. And this is resembled by the empath, right? And the law of ego, or the law of separation, on the other hand, is all about putting yourself first and at the expense of the others. It is all about exploitation. It is all about belittling and demeaning other people in order to get ahead first, right? And this is symbolized by the narcissist. And these are two opposite poles of a spectrum. One is the empath and the other is the narcissist, right? One uplifts humanity and the other downgrades humanity. And this is basically like kind of in an abstract way, this is a philosophy of life, right? And essentially, it's basically a philosophy of life. And essentially what I'm saying is that the real difference, the real point of contention is not about conservative or liberal, or about right or left, or about Republican and Democrat. It is basically about whether we are living in an empath America or a narcissist America, right? Like an America led by empaths or an America led by narcissists. Why? Because if you take a look at it, right now, what's going on, where you have all this news media and all this stuff attacking each other, right? And you're basically like two sides, the right and the left, essentially attacking each other. You'll notice that it's because both of them are coming from a place of narcissism, right? They're both narcissistic and they're unable to understand other people, each other's point of view, right? And if you look into families where both the father and the mother is narcissistic, you'll realize that this basically resembles America right now, right? We've already told in the previous video that the father in this case happens to be the Republican or the conservative or the right? And the feminine on the other hand is like the left, the liberal, or the mother, right? And if you take a look at the issues that they promote, one is pro-masculine or pro-masculinity, and one is pro-femininity, right? And basically in a family, there are two ways to deal with a situation, right? The father and the mother can either come from a place of empathy, or they can come from a place of narcissism or the place of ego where nobody understands each other, or versus a place where they're loving to each other and it's all about cooperated coordination, right? And the families which are successful and which have like long marriages are the ones in which where the father and the mother tend to be both empathetic towards each other, and they are both having a polarity, a masculine feminine polarity, where the father is masculine and the mother is feminine altogether, right? And that's what creates like these things. And the same applies to America as well, in form of like the two parties or whatever you want to call it, right? And the ones where you have the relationships breaking up or you're having divorces and everything like that is in which one or the other party tended to be narcissistic, and that's all is the case. You see, look, when it comes to like the father and the mother, the masculine and the feminine, right? The Republican and the Democrat and all of that stuff, right? You notice that in a family, the father acts in a certain way and the mother acts in a certain way, right? They're two different people. They're like the head and the heart, right? Of the family. And let's say the head becomes narcissistic, or it refuses to cooperate, or the heart refuses to cooperate, nothing's going to happen, right? But when the head and the heart work in conjunction with each other, that's when you have a harmonious place, right? So what I'm telling you is that the real issue is not conservative versus liberal, left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. It is about empathy, right? You coming from the place of an empath and understanding that it is the harmony between the masculine and the feminine, or you coming from a place of narcissism saying that this is both different. And yes, the truth of the matter is, right now in America, we are narcissistic on all fronts, right? Some of us are going to always prefer the masculine or the father, and some of us are always going to prefer the feminine or the mother. But what I'm telling you at the end of the day, and that's what Empath America will always tell you, is that it's about the family, right? And it's about spreading the empathy and the harmony and balance in the family. And it starts from our home as well, right? And so that's all I wanted to say from today, is the other spectrum, right? You can come from two places. You can come from a place of empathy, or you can come from a place of ego or narcissism, the law of one or the law of ego. And which place you come from determines how your relationships will go. Anyways, that is all I have to say for now, right? Please subscribe to our channel if you like what we're talking about. In the next video, we'll continue on this point. Anyway, and we'll talk more about a narcissistic family dynamics and how it applies to what's happening in America right now, and about how empathy is necessary in order to bring a balance into all of it. So anyways, this is all I have to say for now. Bye.